All right, guys, today's Wednesday, February 21st, 2024. All right, we are now back inside our storm shelter slash closet. Went ahead and finally got this here, the final clean on getting all that mold out. Used 100% bleach after we scraped it and vacuumed and did what we had to do. It's all cleaned up nice and neat, the same way that the abatement guys would do. What I gotta do next, let's see, the lights in the way. I'm gonna run the wire from here, come up to this little chase here and put a box right up in that corner. So we're gonna go through and see where the boards up here kind of pop out and see if we can push them in. We might have to drill and then recess them in. Just try to get everything nice and flush and cleaned up in here. So we gotta get the electrical done, flush everything out for this room, install that one board properly. And then we're also working on removing the rest of the stuff in here that we need to, like the face tile here, the threshold section, and all these little pieces around here. Get them all out, and then dig out, chisel out. So I have a small cavity like this. I don't want to disrupt the membrane because I'm not disrupting this floor. Everything has a nice pitch to it. And once I get what I want done in here cleaned up and removed, like removing this insulation here, I went out and bought rock wool, so I'll have a better R value. This is R11. Which is crazy. It's like when you build a house, don't do 2x4s, man. I don't care if you have brick or rock or stuff on the outside. Go thicker, 2x6, 2x8. We'll get all this here cleaned up. We're gonna remove all the boards that we need to. Just get everything cleaned up, you know. I want it ready for preparing to grind in here. I went out and bought a vacuum attachment for my grinder, so we can go ahead and pretty much close this off. Close this all the way off to the ceiling, and just hopefully not allow a whole bunch of dust to get out there. But with the vacuum attachment, you know, do the best we can to keep the dust down from traveling throughout the whole bedroom. So today is just basically getting everything cleaned up and ready, because it's going to take a while. Like I said, I don't want to disturb the membrane. And if I have to, I'll epoxy down there. I'll get it all taken care of where it's not going to leak. So that's what we'll do. Alrighty. If we would have never torn this closet apart, we would have never known about all that mold there. Although, you know, we did know. Let me put it this way. If this thing just got patched up and just kind of, I don't know, Band-Aid, we truly would never known about what's going on in here. And I'm glad we're tearing this apart. I'm not happy that I had to go through all this water damage stuff because it's costing money. But at the same time, we're able to change things up and make it the way we like it. You know, at least be able to buy materials that we can find, right? Like this tile, similar to what we had in California in our house in Riverside. We got that for, I think, 33 or 27 cents a square foot. Because it was the last pallet that they had, and they had like 7.5 stacks, so I took them all. So we're able to do a lot of this stuff on a little lesser scale, although the cabinets and countertops cost us quite a bit between the kitchen, the hutches, and the double hutch and desk, and the bathroom here, as well as the same countertop inside the laundry room. But now as we're going through all this and we're looking at what's being done, well, this board right here was never installed. That board up there was pushing out here, so I had to, you know, go ahead and anchor it, and then it popped out all the way over there. So that one's really not anchored. It was just kind of laid up there. And we have some other areas, like that board that's laying flat this way. It's sticking out, so, you know, we're gonna have to screw that one in, and hopefully it's secured. You know, it's just, we're finding things that aren't so kosher. Just like them not putting any sealer over the cement board that they had in here, you know. Now, They did the furring strips, but you know, this is what you have when you don't seal it. Nothing overlapping the membrane for the pan. It was just cement board stuck on there, just like that. That little strip right there, cement board. That's it. Nothing else in there. They just kind of put it in there, and that was it. But that's the way it was done in the whole shower, including the seat. No membrane or anything. That's why the seat area right here is all moldy. And luckily, you know, nothing rotted out down there on the base plates. You know. And then we have the hole here where rodents come up in and the wind blows. And you can see it moving so slightly right now because there's not a whole lot of wind blowing outside. As we're trying to get some of these boards in place, like this guy here was popping out, this top one was popping out over here. So as soon as he screwed that in, it popped out over on this side. And I thought that all this plywood would have at least been nailed in down to the top, and then all the supports put in to hold, you know, the weight of the concrete. So that's not the case. What they did is they used those old cement style nails right here that look like horseshoe nails, similar to. And then they also just put one screw in. Well, actually, they put two screws in on here and one at the bottom. But the tops kept popping out because they didn't put any screws up there. So I said, you know what, let's just go ahead and get everything all countersunk and put all our screws in, our cement screws, and just get it all taken care of. And so it just took us some time to get everything flush so the boards aren't sticking out or falling down like that one did, you know. So this is a little extra work. And then inside the shower here, so now we're ready to dry, well, almost. I still have to run my electrical from this box through here and then put my outlet up there. And that'll get done for sure today because I want the drywall in. And as we're going through, I had to check. I'm going to be pulling some of this drywall off here and there. None of it is green board, blue board, none of it's waterproof board. There's no waterproofing at all in here. It's just basic drywall. As you can see right here, it's not green, it's not blue. I mean, it's just the basic drywall. So that's what they stuck throughout this whole place. Well, that's what they stuck out here. All this was that cement board that's down here. That really porous stuff, not like that, not like the solid, what are you doing? Not like the solid Hardyback, but this other Durock or whatever, I don't know what it is. I don't know what they use, but all that's coming out. You can see all the the rust. And again, the tiles staying in here, we're grinding it down and then get it prepped and ready for epoxy. And we're using the Schuller's, I'll show you guys in a minute, board, waterproof board in here. But I gotta go through and of course get everything else fixed up and ready. Since none of this here was waterproofed, I might have to take the stuff off, you know, these two panels off, this one here too. Or I just come up, fix my problem down below here, and just come up a little higher, like that. Here's where the existing was, I came across to there. I just come up higher and just put a bigger code base, then that should work too. I'm just seeing if water damage is from the shower or from when this area was leaking, because the water was underneath the original tiles and it could soak up inside there, and also could be water, you know, accumulating in there when I pressure washed this whole area to get it all cleaned up when I was when we had company come over, because it hadn't been cleaned for a while because I was on the bucket system. So I went ahead and checked the wood down there to see if there's dry rot. That's pretty stiff, so I'm pretty good in that area. But this area here, though, we'll have to see. I think we're good. I don't know. We'll see. Doesn't seem to be bad there on the 2x4s. I think a lot of this was from inside the corner area, because there was a small crack in the tile and mold was growing in there because, well, for one, you can't clean it once it starts doing that. It just keeps permeating back through. So everywhere else looks all right. So I'm trying to take my time getting everything dug down as far as I can. I will use my Cement-All in a liquid form and just pour it in there and let it dry. And then when I'm ready, after I grind everything, I'll keep the Cement-All below the tiles. Then I'll grind when I need to grind, and patch back when I need to patch back. And then once I patch back with better cement board, or I use the Schulers or Schulters or whatever, we'll go outside, like I said. It's the first time using that product. I think I also need to put backing in here too, because it calls out for quite a bit of screws. So this will all get taken care of and waterproofed, because I definitely will use my epoxies as well to fill in any gaps and protect the membrane. So let's go outside. This is the product we're using here. The Schluter Curdy system. And here are the boards. This is the back side of them. And they're made out of a heavy duty styrofoam. They're pretty light. Because you can use just this board here as your drywall. So that's why I'm kind of doing what I'm doing in there. I'm trying to, excuse me, I don't have my tripod or anything. I'm trying to evaluate this situation. I just can't believe there was no waterproofing at all in this place, man. At all in that shower, man. They just stuck up that garbage cement board and then tiled right over it. The only thing that had waterproofing was the pan. That was it. Not the seat, not the walls, nothing. And they had 6 shower heads in that thing, man, just blasting all over the place, you know. So slowly but surely, get it done, and I'll go overboard on making sure everything's sealed properly and everything's taken care of. A little bit of moisture in the wall, and like I said, it could have been from the floor sucking up. Luckily, there's no dry rot. I mean, I push on it with a chisel, a wood chisel, and it's not going in, so it's pretty stiff. It's pretty hard, which is a blessing, because I'd hate to tear out all that wall and redo it. And if I have to, I will, but after I continue to evaluate more, if I got to take out more, then I'll take out more. That is what it is. That's where we're at right now with that. So today's Thursday, I think the 22nd. Anyways, we're just kind of accumulating them together right now until we can get to a certain degree where I'm comfortable, and then I'll start doing individual days or whatever. I don't know. I'm just, you know what, I'm still trying to figure all this stuff out. The house, the YouTube stuff, trying to bring content without me stumbling over my words or forgetting words or not completing sentences or completing what I'm talking about, because I'm like all over the map here, It's not like, hey, today we're going to work on building garage doors and then go through the process of it, Right now it's all kind of demo and figure out as we go, as we come into other situations that start to appear, which is like a normal remodel job, You don't know what's underneath until you get there. So also, you saw the corner bead in there. If I didn't point it out, I'll bring it up again later on in this video. But the corner bead's all rusted out, and they've made plastic corner bead for a long time, a lot longer than this house has been built, and they didn't bother doing it. So they didn't waterproof it, and they didn't use plastic corner bead, bullnose, So now what I'm gonna do is I got to run down. Here. Might have some. And voila, guess what? I've got some right here. So I don't have to run down and get it. Look how nice and flexible it is. Doesn't bend. It doesn't kink. And it doesn't rust. All right, well, as you can see, it's 6:15. Matt left about 10:45 today. He had to go home. So I've been doing this all by myself today. So we didn't get any drywall up. We'll see if we get it up tomorrow. I'm not going to promise anything anymore. This has been a beast to take out. I've taken out this here. They used, I think this is plywood. The other side. Yeah. This is like that cabinet type plywood. I'm not going to call it marine because it swelled up on me. Well, it swelled up because, again, they didn't use any sealant. So this is what it looked like. It's swelled up, all nasty and everything. Some of these aren't plywood. Some of them are actually pine. The piece I took off of here was pine. A lot of them are plywood. So I'm going to take this piece off just so I can have a full piece. I'll go ahead and I'll cut some 2x4s or whatever. Like this one here is pine. So they just kind of threw in here whatever they could just to fur it out, which is fine. You know, not a problem. You know, use whatever you got to fur things out. But, you know, seal the dang thing. Seal the walls, man. So I went ahead and I checked down here. This was the corner that was the worst. All right, give me a second. Get down on my knees. My back is killing me. Everything else hurts too. So, yeah, let's chill with it. All right, so I was looking at this and going, oh. All right, end up turning off the darn phone. So I just got the phone in my hand. Again, I don't have a tripod. So I was looking at all this here, and this is solid. You know, it might be dark, you know, but it's solid, man. So I'm good. And I was checking it all out. Not coming apart on me. So I got lucky there. But the plywood, here, let me see. Get down here. They use plywood as a furring strip down here too. This whole section from right about here to there, to the corner was rotted out. But everything looks good here. This whole wall, which is where the bedroom's at, looks great. All right, everything down there looks good. And that's where you had the 8-inch shower head coming out on the arm, and then they had a spray here, and then they also had the controls right there. Luckily, none of that leaked. I don't see any traces of water or anything like that. I don't see any puddling, or used to be puddling down there. You know, like you would see, like right here, where it stood for a bit. So turn this one on without turning it off again. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to check, make sure I didn't damage the membrane. This stuff's pretty tough, though. It really is. I've been poking and prodding on it. I've been checking it, and I even had a hard time getting some of the screws and nails out of it, especially where it was folded over. So, you know, it's pretty flexible, and it's pretty dang thick, and it's pretty tough. So this is hot water. Yeah, it's white. Usually white's domestic, and you know, you got red for hot and blue for cold. And yeah, no, that's hot water. Everything was white pipe in this place. So I had a heck of a time figuring out what was what. But I have blocking I have to do in there for the screw pattern on those boards. I have some 3/4 inch strips furring strips that I need to cut and install, get all that going. And once I get all that blocking done, then we'll be working in here for this blocking as well. So I'm going to figure out where my shelf patterns are going to be, our cubby hole pattern. And once I figure all that out, and I need blocking in those areas, then we'll cut the blocking for that. And no, I didn't get that electrical done yet because I was on this all day. You know, it's not easy for me to get up once I'm down. You know, I need that life alert thing. Help! Sometimes, man, I feel it. I'm gonna feel it tonight going to bed, man. I think tonight is a double dose of Motrin. My back, my hips, everything. Call it a night. And then we'll see where I'm at tomorrow and see what's going on with Matt and go from there. You know, that's all I can do. Anytime, guys, God bless. Have a good day, good night, good morning. Like, subscribe, share, hit that bell notification. I ain't saying that really. I need to put up a bar. You guys have a good one.